Hi, this is Dan Sullivan. I'd like to welcome you to the Multiplier Mindset Podcast. Today's Free Zone transformative story is from Bart Hunter, and Bart comes from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. You can see a long way when you're in Saskatoon. One of the things that Bart saw a long way when he first came into coach was the possibilities of continually expanding what we call the 4 freedoms in Strategic Coach. And my thesis is that every entrepreneur who chooses not to work their lives for an employer but decides to go out in the marketplace, the root reason for doing that actually makes them successful is that they decided to have their own business for the sake of expanding their freedom. So if you think of an entrepreneur, that they may not be experiencing freedom, but they have the potential to experience freedom if they start with the freedom of time being the first one. And I've never met an entrepreneur that came into the program and I got a chance to look at their schedule of the year before they came into Strategic Coach, where I couldn't immediately see how they could turn 40% of their working days into free days and their income would go up. And the reason why I felt that were 2 reasons. One, that they were working too hard for the rewards that they were getting, and as a consequence, the future looked unappetizing to them. And that immediately cut off their ability to make more money, is because they were kind of discouraged because they were working all the time and they weren't getting the results. So what they do is they try to increase the quantity of work while they're experiencing a drop in the quality of work. Okay, so they're putting in a lot of time, but the time isn't giving them any breakthrough in terms of making money. And the moment they give themselves permission to actually take free days, and it's kind of nervy at first, you feel a lot of people have been working habitually their whole life, so to take a free day off seems like a cold turkey day. You're really anxious. You have an addiction of working all the time, of always keeping yourself busy. But if you give yourself permission to actually be away for a single day, you'll notice that your thinking has improved the day after you come back. Just starting with that first experience and then gradually growing it and growing it and growing it, what happens, you begin to realize that increases in money have nothing to do with the amount of time that you spend. It has to do with how refreshed you are, how motivated you are, how alert you are, how curious you are. And you can't be any of those things if you're not taking free days and getting a reward for the decision to become an entrepreneur in the first place. So as you get rewarded for being an entrepreneur, taking all the risks onto yourself, but also taking much more of the rewards on for yourself, what you will notice that with the freedom of time comes freedom of money. Quantity of money gets bigger, but the quality of money becomes bigger. And with greater money comes surplus money, and you can pay for more free time, and you can pay for increased talented people around you. So Bart has a very interesting observation. First of all, he quit Strategic Coach after 2 years and then soon discovered that this was a step backwards. So he came back to coach, and he's been there 8 years now at the signature level, and he's committed to us that during the next year he's coming into the 10 times ambition program.
So I am a financial advisor, wealth advisor. I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, being in that industry for 27 years. Just starting to figure it out. It's amazing the growth that we've had. I got introduced to the Strategic Coach by a gentleman I worked with years ago. And so I was in the program for 2 years. I started in 2000 and did it for 2 years. And then I dropped out because, it's one of those things, it works so good I quit doing it. So it's funny, I've been back in the program for, I think, 8 years now. And when I talk to other people that are in the program, I just suggest to them that the people that drop out are probably the people that need it the most. I was that person. I got out, I lost my way a bit, and it's amazing the growth that I've seen in my business and my personal life now since I've been back in the program. I never got away from some of the concepts that I learned in those 2 years. So then, a lot of the process-oriented things, very nice I guess, honor recently for me, our firm. I'm with Scotia McLeod, large national firm, and the firm has approached me on a national level to help coach other advisors, which is kind of neat because now in theory, you could say that other advisors are still competition to me in the firm, right? But now my competitors are paying me to help them. I would have never got to that point without being in the coach program. I think one of the big benefits of the program is coming every quarter, getting that one day out of the office to just sit there and think. I say to my wife, my brain is sore at the end of a coach day because you're just focused and you're thinking, and which sometimes you get back in the game and you get focused on other things, and to step back and have a great buffer day is huge, right? But the other thing that I get huge value out of is being able to spend time with like-minded people and the relationships that I've developed in the program. And it's kind of cool too that I don't always come to Vancouver to my regular group. I'll sometimes go to Santa Monica or go to Chicago, and you meet the people and they all think the same way. They all have the same thought process and the same mindsets around growth. And you find people, I think, very generous in their giving and how they try to make the world a better place. And, everybody has different goals and priorities. And they talk in the coach program about the 4 freedoms: freedom of time, freedom of relationship, freedom of money. And the big one for me, and I know a lot of my clients, is freedom of purpose. So I can come here every quarter and talk about people that are always mindful of those things. It might be different, but it's a conversation you can have without people thinking you're weird. So it's to have that camaraderie is very valuable to me. We just had a little breakout session this morning and we were talking about, and I said, and you don't want to sound boastful, but I said, I have substantial net worth. I can afford to buy a new car, but I never do because I don't have that freedom to just go and waste money. So, we'll do retirement projections and wealth plans for our clients, and it helps to give them, a sense that they have enough. But people still have a mindset around how they spend money. And to have that conversation with people is very valuable. I will do that with my clients and focus on the conversation of the coach concept of the 4 freedoms. And I will have that conversation with people, and they really find that valuable because nobody has that thought leadership that I find the coach does. So it gives me a lot of tools to go back and make my business better and also add value, I think, to people's lives. At the end of the day, if we're adding value to people's lives, then we're going to get what we want. So it helps to do that. I feel really good about it. To the point where I guess I'm in what's called the signature program, and I'm probably going to bump up to the next level. I love the coach marketing. If you want the big guy, you just pay more. And most people look, the more money I spend, I want a better discount. The coach does it in reverse, which is brilliant. I respect that so much. So I'm probably going to change and spend the $20,000 or whatever it is a year versus the 8 or 9 that I spend now, and switch to that 10 times program and actually be with Dan Sullivan. From what I understand, it's the same program, but then I'm going to be with a different level. And I talked earlier about the experience you get from the people in the room. Now I'll be with a different level of people in that room. And to me, that will be worth the expenditure. I don't look at it as money going out. I look at it as an investment. And I just don't think people invest in themselves. They're all worried about buying the new car or doing something. Well, why wouldn't you invest that money in yourself? I've got more out of the money that I've spent in coach than anything I've ever bought. It's been tremendous. I think the mindfulness that you get when you have clarity is tremendous. And I really have embraced, and it's funny, when I was in the program for those first 2 years, I didn't embrace the entrepreneurial time system. Now I'm all in. And my staff is all in. My team has grown. It's gone from 2 assistants to now we've got a team of 6. We focus a lot on unique ability so that the people on our team love what they do all day long. They're working within their unique ability. We don't have job descriptions and pigeonhole them in like a, no disrespect, but like a government employee or, like that kind of a thing. So they protect my time. So we use that entrepreneurial time system. For me, I've got my days planned out probably 9 months on average in advance. My focus days, my buffer days, my free days. I feel really good about having a great buffer day, which helps plan for good focus days and free days. But my time off, and I track it, I am very mindful of it. My time off has gone up substantially in the last few years, and my business has grown exponentially. So there's a correlation there. And entrepreneurs are always guilty about not, doing what they think is the right money-making thing, and taking time off is a bad thing. Well, I've embraced it and really, really enjoyed better quality free days instead of always worrying about the office, building a big team that I probably wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have conceptually understood the concept of empowering people and letting them work within their unique ability. So, a lot of those concepts just come back to their mindset is to create value for me. My mindset is to create value for them and to create value for our clients. At the end of the day, it helps everybody get what they want in life. It's ultimately led to better freedom for me. I think maybe the biggest obstacle I've had is myself, my own mindsets. It's a confidence game. And one of the things in the coach and one of the books that Dan Sullivan has written, and I love the fact that he writes these quarterly books and I read them and embrace them, right? But, he talks about a concept called the 4 C's. One of those C's is confidence and capabilities and courage. And, so it's, for me, I think being in the coach program has given me the confidence that maybe I wouldn't have had before. The biggest roadblock to a lot of people's success is probably themselves. We all have unique abilities, and it's just a matter of uncovering those unique abilities. So I would say that would probably be the biggest thing. And it's not a tangible, maybe it is, but for me, and my wife made this comment to me a couple of weeks ago, we were chatting, and she just said she loves the confidence that I have now. I just have a different mindset because I just know I'm going to go out and do, number one, what I love doing. I just turned 60. I don't ever think I'm retiring. Like, why would I? I've delegated all the stuff I don't like now, which is a coach thing, right? And I'm spending most of my time on things I love. So if I retired, I'd be retiring from what I love, which is kind of counterintuitive. I jokingly say to people, I keep looking in the dictionary and they haven't changed. One of the definitions of retire is put out of use. And that scares the heck out of me. That's a long answer to a simple question, but I think it's the changing of the mindset and giving me the confidence that I probably wouldn't have had.
The thing about this is that we're simply asking you to consider the possibility that out of 365 days, even if you include travel time, and, it might be a long distance and everything else, it might be 10 days of your entire year, taking all the travel time and the actual workshop days. Those 10 days could totally turn your life around if you come to Strategic Coach and you continually use every 90 days workshop to improve each of the 4 freedoms of time, money, and with time and money improved, your relationships improve, and your purpose in life actually improves. So just to give some evidence, after 10 years of total coach experience, Bart actually has found remarkably that people he used to consider as competitors in the wealth management industry that he's in are now coming to him as customers because he's got possibilities of going national with his business. Now, the only reason I can figure out of why he is where he is, whereas his competitors are looking to him for guidance and are looking to him for new capabilities and skills, is because he committed himself to every 90 days improving his 4 freedoms, and he looks free, and he strikes other people as being freer than they are, and they want to be his customers. Even though they're competitors, they want to be his customers because they would like to be like Bart. And so the greatest role models that an entrepreneur can have is someone who constantly grows in the 4 freedoms, and that's our entire purpose at Strategic Coach, is every quarter you'll improve in all 4: time, money, relationship, and purpose.